Burr. Hello, Brian. Darius, tell me a Kentucky Lake story. You been out there? We just need a live cam on Darius's boat. You don't have to say or do anything. We can just tune in. Check in. Maybe it's in the garage. You check in. Maybe he's getting gas. You check in. Maybe he's reeling in a 6-pounder. Who knows? Oh, Eric, barely. Barely. Little Rich. I don't know this Horseshoe guy. I know AJ. Mindy. Horseshoe. Not familiar. Might be an imposter. Thanks, Johnny. I ordered this last week. It's got a built-in this guy. So, Burns, I'm back. It's funny, Burnsy. I took your advice, and you said drink lots of water, not tea. So, I did. I drank lots of water. I drank about 80 ounces the day you said that. And guess what happened? I got screaming diarrhea. Hadn't had it at all. But I drank all that water. Oh boy, it came out. I didn't piss the bed, no. I pissed the toilet out of my butt. TMI, I know, but I thought it was funny. Burns sabotaged me. Drink water, painter dude. You'll get better. You'll get better. Claude. Thank you, sir. Yeah, we're doing better. It was a rough week last week. We also lost our old geezer dog earlier in the week. Maybe it was like Monday or Tuesday. So like one of the nights I was sick, I was out there and it was raining and I was looking for the dog and he wandered out. I think it might have been I think he was sick of living, honestly. If you want the honest truth to what happened to the dog, I think he was sick of life. And he said, tonight's the night. Not Honey, Henry, the old white schnauzer. Y'all never saw Henry. Henry was probably, I'm guessing Henry was 16. Dude was ancient. He couldn't hear or see. He could smell a little bit, but like he couldn't even smell. The thing about Henry was he couldn't smell. I don't know what that dude had the weirdest senses. Like he could smell stuff, but you could put like even when he was younger, like his senses were terrible. Like his dog senses were not good. But his nose was really weird because you could like put a piece of bacon under him and he couldn't find it. Like it would take him a minute. Like even when he could see and hear. Uh, so yeah, puppy heaven. He is in puppy heaven. But Henry was pretty long in the tooth. Uh, so yeah, Henry did not know how to dog. His dog wasn't dogging. It was he was an anomaly. Uh, but it was it was sad to see Henry go, but I I mean I'd kind of anticipated it. So honestly, was pretty shocked that he made it that damn long. So uh, 13-year-old Shih Tzu thinks it has leukemia. Thinks she has leukemia. Oh no, that sucks. But Henry, all kinds of he for whatever reason, like you just couldn't. He wasn't. That's the crazy thing about Henry is he was not a tough dog by standard definition, but you couldn't get him down ever. Like the dude, he was strangely tough in that sense. Was that like nothing ever like he just kept living somehow. Uh, uh, he managed to keep poking around. Um, did Honey and Henry get along? Yeah. Uh, Henry, like Honey, didn't even really act like Henry existed. Like she'd walk up and sniff him every now and again, but he was like, for lack of a better term, he was pretty much like a ghost. You know what I mean? Like he would just kind of like sleep for 14 hours and then like poke up and his like hair'd be all messed up and he couldn't walk because he'd been laying down for so long. And then he'd like peg leg into into the kitchen and just like stand there and look at you and like look in his food bowl, take a sip of water, and then go like sleep for another 14 hours. And and I mean, it was frustrating, but it was still like pretty amusing here towards the end because you'd take him outside and you'd leave him outside in the yard for like an hour and let him like try to go to the bathroom. And we did that. Like it was we were putting up the Christmas lights, and we'd taken him outside a bunch and let him pee or whatever. And you go outside and he couldn't walk anywhere, so you just like leave him in the backyard and he'd just kind of hang out and uh, he'd walk back usually when he was done. Well, in the last like couple months, you'd like put him on the porch just to let him go stretch his legs. He'd just pee on the porch. He wouldn't even like go out in the yard anymore. He's like, screw it. So, uh, but even like more ridiculous than that, you'd take him outside and like try to get him to pee. He wouldn't pee. You'd be like, all right. And you'd leave him for a pretty good while in nice grass, great place to pee. And and then you bring him inside and we did that one night. We took him outside and let him be outside for a little while. Brought him inside. He walked over there to the Christmas lights. Just hosed the ball of Christmas lights sitting on the floor. I'm like, dude, you've been outside for 30 minutes where you had every opportunity to pee, and we bring you inside, and you're just like, y'all can eat a dick. I'm pissing on the lights. So I've got a strand of lights in the back of my truck that Henry has hosed down. Pretty funny. Yeah, they were sad and equally as amusing, but he would he was a good dog. They don't make Henrys because Henry was like the most chill animal ever. He couldn't even bark. Like that was the weird thing. If you heard him try to bark, the dude, like I told you, his dog wasn't dogging. He couldn't even bark. Like occasionally, like if he'd need something, he never barked inside. But if you'd like take him outside and he'd be ready to come inside, he'd get up next to the door and he would try and he would just go, "Ooh!" Like it was the weirdest thing. It was very odd. Uh, uh, that was Amy's dog. She adopted Henry. I feel like she adopted him when he was like 4, and then we've had him for like 10, 12 years. Like, dude was old. Because he wasn't a puppy, really, like puppy when Amy got him, I don't believe. Like, he had some years on him. So, say he was 3, and then she had him another 12 years. I mean, he was 15 probably. Uh, but yeah, check out this. Rest in peace, Henry. What'd I do with it? Oh, it's right here. The dude wanted his duck call camouflaged. He said, which was cool. He said, he sent me an email. He said, I like your work. He said, but I don't fish so much. That's actually kind of cool. He said, paint a duck call for me? Absolutely. Absolutely. So, there you go. Duck Commander, Mallard Drake. I know Phil is in not great health. Got diagnosed with Alzheimer's, maybe? Phil Robertson. So, shout out Duck Commander, Mallard Drake. You know something about their calls that's funny? I bought one of their wood duck calls as a young, aspiring duck hunter, and I'd already had a Haydell's wood duck call, and I could toot on that thing. And so let me try one of these Duck Commanders, just because I wanted to be part of the Duck Commander fam, right? So I ordered the Duck Commander wood duck call. So, because I'd watched some videos, and so I tried one, and I got it, blew on it. I said, man, this thing sounds like shit. This is terrible. It doesn't sound anything like a wood duck. So I threw it in. I don't know what I did with it. I still don't know where that call is. I bought it and I have no clue where it is. There's my lanyard right there. And I guess I liked Haydell's calls because I have nothing but Haydell's calls. I had a red leg, and I don't know where that is. I would love to find it. But their wood duck calls I love. Got a Richard tone over there. So anyway, I throw the wood duck call in the trash or in the corner. I don't throw anything in the trash. I threw it in the corner. And years later, when YouTube got popular, I didn't throw it out birds. No, I'm being silly. So years later, I was watching a YouTube video of Phil Robertson at a church, and he had his lanyard on his neck, and he had somehow tied in his sermon with his duck calls. So he was going through his duck calls and showing what they sounded like. And I was looking at it, and I said, "Oh, I'll be. He's got that wood duck call on his lanyard." And he said, "This is a, wood duck." And he starts tooting on this thing, and it sounded like live wood ducks were flying through the church. Like, I'd never heard anything like it. So eerily accurate. And I thought to myself, that's the same call I had. And I'm sure there's a moral here. I'm not sure what it is, but there is one. I'm not sure what it is, but there is one. But I got to get bait sanded because we're supposed to leave Thursday and go to Baton Rouge for Christmas. And I got to get these Burnsies out the door. They're burning a hole in me because I'm a week behind now because I couldn't do jack shit last week because I had the damn kindergarten flu. Could be right, Eric. Burns, I don't. The thing definitely did not need a tune. I needed a tune. That is the moral. Is I needed the tune. I didn't know what I was doing. This is what occupied my sick time last week. Can you read that? Duck call craft. Speaking of, Scott, can you read that? So, shortly after I started airbrushing, and shortly before I moved to Austin, I started this little guitar project here. So I bought this guitar from a guy and came with an amp. Still use the amp. This little crappy Marshall practice amp. But so I bought this and it was white Stratocaster Squire. And I bought it because I had this idea that I wanted to cover the whole thing in copper leaf and then tarnish the copper with liver of sulfur. So I did that. I covered this whole thing in copper leaf. So all this brown you see is copper. And then I took the liver of sulfur and I put it on here, and salt and vinegar, and I think this actually ended up with some what's that stuff you put on your plants to make it grow? Miracle Grow? I think I sprinkled some Miracle Grow on here too. Don't remember why. Maybe it was by accident, but this stuff has had a lot of weird things put on it. So I got all that stuff put on it, and I just put it in the corner because I didn't know what to do with it. I never clear coated it, and the neck wasn't on it, so it was just a guitar body like this that just sat in the corner unclear coated. Then I moved to Texas. This got forgotten about, and I didn't get forgotten about it. It just got put on the back burner. So I didn't do anything with it, and it sat. And then I was looking at it. I was over there a few months ago looking at it, and I was like, man, I need to finish that thing. So I finally decided I needed to clear coat this thing. So I clear coated it, put the name, the tackle caster, cleaned it up, put a cool neck plate on it. So now it's ready to play. When the only thing I gotta do now is A, set it up, and B, I gotta solder the output jack and the grounds. It's got two grounds on it. So it's got a screw in ground. It's got a ground that goes to the claw. The other ground goes to this copper shielding that the inside's got in it, and then to the output jack. And now I have to work on setting it up. So, but I'm going to give this to my nephew for Christmas this year. But I'm running out of time, so that'll be his Christmas gift for me. The tackle caster, one of one, about 12 years in the making. So, Brian, yes. Diodario XLs, or whatever the nickel welms are, 10s. Yeah, I would have probably kept it, just because it was fun to do. But I'll be able to play it over there with him. It's got new tuners on it. I put new tuners. The bridge is new. It's gonna have like good stuff on it. And the guy who I bought it from, he had shielded everything on the inside, and he put new pickups in it, so it doesn't have like crappy ceramic pickups. If you consider those crappy, some do, some don't, some like them. But oh yeah, I just opened this box, Burns. Lexan. Hey, Lexan. No, lady, not you. I tried to flatten the clear coat on it, but I didn't put enough flattening agent in it. So it's not as flat as I was looking for, but it's close enough. 1.5 DD. One of the fish catchingest. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's just me, but like a Bandit 100 or a Bandit 200 and a 1.5 DD are kind of in the same class of baits to me, like depth and size. But for whatever strange reason, I feel like a 1.5 DD gets a bigger bite. And there's been a million like huge fish caught on a 200 Bandit, mainly because I think people throw them more than anything else down here. But even in my childhood, I've caught so many on a like big ones on a Bandit 200. But I feel like a 1.5 DD might get a bigger bite for some reason. I don't know why, but might be placebo. Who knows? But these baits, Burns says, the 1.5 DD and the regular 1.5, he subbed up the bill a little bit, so they're not going to be the previous 6, 8, 10-foot square bill divers. They're not going to get down. dare yourself get out there in 30 and snap a spoon. Wouldn't be my favorite thing to do, but it's kind of akin to like, I don't know, bottom fishing for snapper. Kind of reminds me of like crappie fishing or something. It's fun though. It's not something I want to race out there and do every day. I guess if you're catching them 50, 60 a day, it'd probably be pretty fun. But this is the ones I'm getting excited to paint. These are the ones I'm painting this week. The big fat BDS. So I gotta sand these. I gotta have these sanded by today, and I'm running out of time. So I better get to sanding while I'm talking. But I might have to cut this party short so I can try to optimize my. It's gonna be my sanding shirt now because I can do this, and I can be free from Burnsy dude epoxy dust. What's everybody else been doing? Well, I feel like a long time no talk. I'm trying to think what happened the week before where I was doing. No telling. Getting a Christmas tree? I don't know. I feel like there's been all kinds of stuff going on. 200-yard area. How many fish did you drag from the 200-yard area? AJ, that was a sickening amount of rock crawlers you ordered. When I started thinking about dealing with the eyeballs of all those, it really made me twitchy. Oh, that was right. I hurt my back. That was exactly what happened. I knew there was something else weird that slowed me down. Yeah, I hurt my back. And then I got sick. Yeah, I got back-to-back punishments. Back-to-back punishments. How is Marty doing? I don't know. He's on here. Marty, you doing all right? Yeah, I'm in a vortex of shit right now. Hurt my back. Got the preschool flu. Dog died. What a shit. Tennis elbow from sanding. My elbow's been giving me a little bit of troubles, but I'll survive. I'll survive. 20 plus bass, 30 striper. That's a fun day. Kept you entertained. AJ, what's your attack on that box of baits? Are you gonna blast through all of them and just get them all done? Like just paint all of them? I get to play Get Over Whatever Sickness My Dirty Kids Bring Home. You know, the funny thing, Travis, is the baby had it, but she wasn't that bad off. You know what I mean? Like we knew she was sick, and she had like the runny nose and like the cough and like sneezing, and then I catch it, and I'm like bad. I mean, it wasn't that bad. I've been sicker, but like I came to work every day. But then once I got here, like I'd take the kids to school. I missed that. I think I missed that one day where I didn't take them to school because I had a fever. But or maybe it was gone that day. I don't remember. Maybe I didn't miss taking them to school. But anyway, I'd get to the shop and I would feel so terrible. I would just like sit here with my feet propped up in like the fetal position and just feel bad. And then I would go out there and like clear coat that guitar. And dude, I felt awful. I didn't have any energy. That's what's been getting me lately. It's not like the runny nose or the cough. It's like the fatigue and like muscle ache. I guess that's how you know when you're old. When you start getting fatigued. My kid's 19 now, so they're still working in the hospital. Do half now and then save a few for a rainy day. Not bad. Well, the good thing about doing half of them, if some sports show happens to pop up and catch your eye, you got a shit ton of crawlers you can take. A little bit, Travis. I like. It usually takes something like that for me to get like fired up. And it's not really the deer, honestly. The deer does not get me fired up. It does, but it's not the animal. The deer picture gets me fired up because I enjoy coming to Kansas. I don't really give a shit about deer hunting. I like the experience and the people in Kansas, and I like going to Kansas and deer hunting. The deer is secondary. Maybe one of those, Johnny, and I'll give you a guess which one. Yeah, my fever was a 101.5 when I checked it, and well, I didn't realize I had a fever. That's why I was sitting in here in the fetal position. Well, it's because I didn't realize I had a fever, but I was like sitting in here freezing to death, and I realized that the air, like the temperature in the shop, was like 72. Like it's not that cold. Uh, so yeah, it turns out that's when I went home and took my temperature. It's like, oh yeah, no wonder I felt like shit all day. I've got 101 fever. What a dummy. Speaking of, Bobby, you're in time for this. So I don't usually do this. This is a rarity, but my buddies Josh and Jacob Heron. Last time I was up at Josh's house, you know, Josh is the swim bait builder. Jacob likes the balsa flat sides and such. So Jacob tinkers with those. And when I've been up at Josh's, there's random homemade Jacob balsa baits laying around in different levels of uh, completion. So last time I was up there, I found one that was carved out and sealed and primed and ready to go. And I said, "Can I have this?" He said, "Yeah, you want some more?" I was like, "No, I just want this one." So, um, so I took it home, brought it here, and it's set over there on a stick pearl white for what I'm guessing is 6 months, roughly. Maybe a year. Hell, who knows? And I never decided uh, what color I wanted to paint it. And I couldn't make my mind up. And every time I'd look at it, I'd say, oh, I'm going to do it this. Oh, I'm going to do it Warshad. Oh, I'm going to do it this. None of those were quite right. So I told myself, all right, I'm going to finish this. So a couple weeks ago, I saw it. Might have been last week. And I said, all right, I've got a plan for you. I'm going to foil you. So I got out the foil and I foiled and I painted it. And I wanted to do non normal foil. So I did. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. This thing will focus. But I did the pattern in the foil to look like, there it goes, to look like the texture of like a crawfish. Tell me that thing ain't sexy. So that is my gift to Jacob for Christmas this year. Letting me steal one of his baits and paint it. Thanks for letting me hold your bait and play with it and have fun. So, but that was a pretty damn good foil job, I must say. Pretty damn clean. Pretty damn clean. Sorry, AJ, no splatter. Unfortunately. No splatter. All right, I need something to put these baits in. This'll work. Another one of my Dollar General purchases. I'll allow it. No splatter gets the pass today. Sorry to disappoint you, splatter guys. No, Brian, but I do need to send them a logo and a blurb about myself, and I haven't done it yet. And I keep forgetting. I need to get AI to make me a blurb about Tacklecraft, because I'm really not motivated or in any type of mindset to sit down and write, just because it requires me to like focus and sit down and like I don't know, just like get in that headspace where I need to write. And I don't know that I have the mental capacity right now to do it. And I think that's part of the problem why I've been delaying it. It's because I don't have it in me. So I'll cheat and use AI. It'll craft up something good enough. Yeah, I just really don't want to do it. Now's a bad time of year, dude. You know what I mean? Like You gotta like redo your health insurance and all that kind of bullshit, and it's just obnoxious. Uh, See, something like that, Amy could probably help me with. I'm just too stubborn. Like, it's just something I want to do by myself and just sit there and hash it out. Um, Intern or secretary would be pretty sweet. I don't know what they'd actually do. It'd be nice. Pay homeowners the insurance and taxes. Yeah, that always pops up. It's just like, yeah, everybody tries to squeeze you at the end. It gets annoying. Then I start getting pissed off because there's somebody else with their hands stuck out. Sanders secretary would be great. A secretary that could sand. I'll put an ad in the newspaper for one of those. See what pops up. See what kind of callbacks I get. See what kind of callbacks. Eric, what's a noodler? Definitely a noodle. What does that mean? Need to invent a non-sanding epoxy. Yeah, you need to. There needs to be one that. There just needs to be a coating that can be applied. Uh, to epoxy that like reopens it to grab paint. Uh, you know what I mean? You just spray it on there. It'd be like an adhesion promoter, but it requires no sanding. Problem with Bobby would be working too much. I'd say, Bobby, he'd come in and he'd say, hey, I worked an extra 4 hours yesterday. I need some more baits. I'm like, Bobby, you got to slow down, dude. You've worked 93 hours in the last 2 days. He'd be like, I know. I need some of the baits off the wall. Bobby, chill, bro. Bobby would work here for a week and there'd be nothing left in the office. He would have taken it all as his paycheck. A self-etching clear that you can paint over. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think they make those yet. Be a lot cooler if they did. I'd turn on the camera and it looked like the Grinch came through on Christmas Eve. Not even a crumb big enough for a mouse after Bobby came through. A self-etching clear coat, you would think. You would think. I mean, that would save a lot of people a lot of time. Not just bait guys. I mean, there should be some sort of substance that should be able to bite a clear surface as good as a sanded surface. You would think. I'll put Elon on it. He'll get it figured out. Elon will get it knocked out for me. Hold on, gotta sneeze. I just blew the sneeze out of my nose, so I don't have to sneeze now. Got any of that balsa? Hey, boss, you got any more of that balsa I hadn't found yet? Nope. Bobby wouldn't even leave one DC9 smooth. Not even enough for a who. Good clear coat for a rookie like you, epoxy. 100%. Flex coat UV. Bobby, I gotta go test some of those burns. Have you seen those? Oh yeah, I already tested them. What? Yeah, they're on my net at home. I already tested them. They ran great. BSI 30-minute, yeah, from Hobby Lobby. That's a good choice because you don't have to. You don't necessarily have to. I think with the flex coat that Burnsy builds, you have to have a lure turner, and with the BSI, you don't necessarily need one of those per se. I would stick with that, Bobby. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Honestly, if I had a turner, I would epoxy these, but I don't. Because it would honestly probably be easier in the long run for me to just epoxy these because it's not such a large volume that I couldn't do it in a relatively easy like quick time. And Johnny, I've got some of that stuff actually. um, I bought it a couple years ago. I've got a pound of it, the material, and I've tried to suspend it in paint, and I need to mess with it some more, but I couldn't really get it to work that great. But I think I think I know why though. I think I know why. Um, I'm gonna have to do some more experimenting with it though. I do have it. BSI, if you aren't turning, you have a turn. Did they come back out with the G finish stuff? Didn't they recreate those? Wasn't that part of the custom shop? I feel like I've seen those come back around, which I don't know if that excites people or not. I always thought they were cool. Uh, I've got a Cordell. Yeah, there's a G finish red fin. It's pretty sweet. And you can see it glowing, like it glows. Oh, it's not like the old stuff. I'm sure the old stuff had lead and asbestos and all that other good shit that apparently kills you, stuffed in its pigment. Bobby, at your level now, the sealer of box will work fine. The BSI 30-minute works well, but the same as DevCon. DevCon was always my favorite. Maybe it was because it was what I started with, but I still, even after using BSI and like other epoxies, like 20, 30-minute epoxies, I still liked the way DevCon handled. Bobby, what's the pulse of G Finish Cordell baits on eBay? What are you doing in chat GPT right now? Hella? What is it configuring for you? Yeah, I mean, hell, there's a pretty decent learning curve just getting epoxy smooth and getting it figured out. Once you get over that, you'll be good. G Finish is up and down. Sounds like everything else. Bobby said that WECs are on an uptick. Uptick. Time to get out those WECs and sell them. The old G Finish was the hardest substance known to man. I think that product was made for boats. Huh. I never remember it being that durable. Maybe it was. I don't know. I didn't throw that much G Finish stuff. I'm sure it's like, I mean, honestly, it's probably broken glass or something like that. Uh, Tacklecraft is a name synonymous with craftsmanship and performance in the fishing world, known for its meticulous attention to detail. It's true. Actually, how do they know? Creates custom painted crankbaits that blend stunning aesthetics with proven functionality on the water. This damn robot's smart, dude. Each bait is hand-painted a masterpiece, carefully crafted to deliver lifelike finishes and precision-tuned action that anglers can rely on to draw strikes even from the wariest fish. Designed by a passionate angler who understands the nuances of the sport. Tacklecraft baits are built to elevate your game and help you land your next big catch. Explorers collection and experience custom craftsmanship that truly makes a difference. I'll be damned. That was way faster than I could have written that. And sounds way more impressive, but it also sounds way fake. What is Chat GPT? You have to download it? Is it like a program? I can't download it on my phone if it's an app because I don't have any room on my phone. I can't even receive. It's web based. Good. So I could use it. I've never dabbled in it. It's free. Eric, they're probably all on eBay right now. People are flipping them. People are flipping Bass Lab. I also noticed something, Eric, that you've been behind the scenes doing some SEO shit, and don't tell me you haven't, because I looked up some custom. I googled like lure custom crankbait. Guess what the first hit was? Epic Eric's Bass Lab. I'll be damned if you look up lure custom crankbait. The Bass Lab is at the top. Thought that was interesting. when you say Simmons is out, do you think they're out of baits? I don't want to use my brain scope, Eric. I don't want to use my brain. I want to use my brain to tweak. That's what I rather do. I'd rather have the robot give me some groundwork, and then me tweak it and like dig the punctuation up and stuff. Uh, Helps you learn so much professionally. Google search. I've never messed with it. Yeah, he's been dicking around with something, Eric. One doesn't just search for custom crankbait lure and the bass lab pop up first. I need to sell that Stumpy I just found because it doesn't mean anything to me besides I like the color. Eric, do you know any JDM tackle sites that sell gift cards converted from US to yen? Interesting. All right, I'm gonna have to get out of here because I'm gonna have to go into speed mode because these need to be getting painted tomorrow. So that's going to require me to do. That's going to require me to do less talking, more sanding. Burns, I'm not a fan of the Stumpies. That's why I would sell my WEC one. All the wee baits that they had left, American Legacy Fishing purchased a while back. I purchased a bunch of them. What is American Legacy Fishing? Is that the people that own like Scumfrog and all the other millions of companies? Hella, you're too kind. Thank you. Oh, did you get your box? Hella? Just a dealer. Oh. Interesting. I didn't know if it was one of those conglomerates. No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it, Hella. Let me check. You know, it's funny. I'll talk about this. You know, I've been on this. I've been back inspired by music, and it's had my interest lately. And so there's all this, like, I mean, my buddy sent me this group to join on Facebook. It's called Cover Band Central. I'm not in a cover band, but I guess he thought I'd be interested in it. Thanks, Bert. But he sent me this, and I see some posts on it from time to time. Well, one is that there is a similar debate amongst musicians, and it is eerily similar to the non-live scope versus live scope crowd. So within the band and music industry, it is guys that utilize iPads on stage, and or amp modelers or things of that nature where you use music technology to like give you a sound or uh, do like, you know, different triggers for like you could run like your pedal board for like a certain pedal to come on at a certain time so you don't have to like touch your pedal. Or people, well, the one that really gets people's gears going is when somebody uh specifically a singer puts an iPad on stage for the lyrics. That grinds people's gears, dude. um it's really funny. This is more for live music, but it's similar. Like you have the guys that are like, well, my band can play our instruments and we practice and we memorize our parts. We don't have to look at a dumb iPad to remember what our set list is or what the words to the songs are or what the key changes are or any of this stuff. Like you need to learn your shit and play like a real band. Turn your amp up and play. And I was like, man, this is forward facing sonar of the music world. Pretty funny. I found a way to save 30% on tackle. Buy gift cards at Tackle Bros. They convert from USD to CAD, save 30%. How sneaky. But there's also like amp modeling software out there. So if you have like a whatever you want to use, you could use the PA at the at the damn wherever you're playing, and then you could use your little amp modeler to dial up a, you know, a Tweed 59 Bassman sound or a Plexi Marshall or whatever you wanted, like whatever sound you were looking for, and then it would like simulate what it is, which is stupid, but people use it. Yep. Chat GPT, is that? I'm sure that is a very hot topic amongst journalists. I mean, I'm sure it's completely ruined a lot of journalism. Uh, but my coworker wants the hat off. My hat? My hat? I'm not taking my hat off. But all right, I'm going to sand eagerly, rapidly. I'm going to rapidly sand these baits. No way, Jose. All right. It's a hot topic in the military for writing people's speeches and anyone performance punch. Yeah, I can see that. All right, y'all be good. Good talking to everybody. Have a good rest of your day. We'll probably chat tomorrow, maybe. Adios, campers.